Hello everyone, it's Select4Tech here. In today's video we have the Huawei P40 Pro with the Kirin 990 5G processor. This Kirin 990 5G is in the Huawei P40, P40 Pro, the Mate 30 Pro, the Mate X, which is the foldable Huawei, and the Mate Pad Pro, which is the tablet, which looks like the iPad Pro. Now, there is one bad thing about this phone, which is you can't go full screen mode. You can't go forced full screen mode, for Dolphin at least, so far from what I've seen. So that's the only bad thing, but seems like they have improved it, since most games can be run perfectly smooth, emulator games especially. So let's get started with this video. First thing I'm gonna say, I have my Xiaomi gamepad connected. Second thing, CPU temperature and the battery temperature and the RAM usage. You can see battery life is at 72%. In graphics, I want to quickly show you. In general, I would disable override emulated clock speed and disable sync on skip idle. This is how I play most GameCube games, so there's that. Also, enhancement is set on 720p for better quality. So if it struggles in any game, just know you can improve it by changing it to 1x. Now this is the first game. TimeSplitters Future Perfect. You could see the frame FPS count at the top, hopefully. I will try and improve the brightness after editing, but we'll see. Where is everyone? Now, next game is Naruto Ninja Taisen 4. As you can see, we're perfectly smooth and it's on 720p. As you can see, it's very high quality. 60 FPS, no frame drops whatsoever. So for any Naruto fans, know you could play this game 60 FPS, or even the Wii game, I think Special Taisen, I think it's called. That is also 60 FPS. This is Spyro: A Hero's Tale. It's showing 26 FPS, 30 FPS. So I would call this smooth. There are some frame drops, but it's completely playable. And as usual, the quality is just beyond amazing. Very impressed. Kirin 990 handling games, so amazing. Very impressed by the Huawei P40. Since we have so many games, let's go through them quicker. This is A New Beginning, Spyro, and it's very dark in the game. Cutscenes are smooth, so that's completely playable, and as you can see yourself, gameplay is pretty smooth. There is some lag, but I'm pretty happy with it in general. So 20 FPS. What is this? Battle Stadium D.O.N. So I'm Sasuke apparently. And 60 FPS, no frame drops at all. So, 60 FPS, Battle Stadium D.O.N. This is Crash Bandicoot Tag Team Racing. This is the Crash game which you are free roaming like this. And you also have racing, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I just want to show you how well it does. Remember, this is capped at 60 FPS, so right now 35 FPS means it's lagging. But because of sync on skip, you don't notice the lag too much. And this is probably definitely playable. Now let's go to the driving section. Cutscenes and animations are perfect. As you can see, we're getting 30 FPS, very minimal frame drops. Let's move on. Sonic Heroes cannot run on the MMJ version. There's graphical bugs. We will go to the Dolphin version, the other Dolphin version I have installed. There is Sonic Heroes. So as you can see, it's showing 60 FPS. There are some frame drops, but you can fix this changing sync on skip idle and the settings and stuff. From what I remember, the best way to improve settings for GameCube games is to disable override emulated clock speed. And that should basically fix all lag and stuff. So let's move on anyway. As you saw, it was playing 60 FPS, and yes, you should be able to. Sonic Heroes is completely playable. Super Smash Bros. Melee. So as you can see, 60 FPS for this game too. I don't know why he's just running away, I can't kill him. So 60 FPS for Super Smash Bros. Melee. Next game is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Very difficult game to emulate. This is on 720p as well, don't forget. But for now, lag is minimal. And it is completely playable. So far, that is. So, a stable 45 FPS. Very impressive. Simpsons Hit and Run. So as you can see, we're getting a nice and smooth 60 FPS with very little frame drops to 56 FPS. In general, it's pretty much playable, and it seems smoother than other phones which I've tested, like the S20. Now we will see in the comparison video I'll make shortly. But for now, as you can see, it's pretty playable. It did get some frame drops to 45 FPS. Hot Wheels World Race. and one of my favorite games. This is aggressive inline. Oops. So we're getting 40 FPS, which is pretty impressive. This is the Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. And as you can see, there are lots of frame drops. It's getting about 30 FPS right now. You can see the graphical bugs everywhere.
What is that? And a transport vehicle. Robots. The Underminer uses robots. Then we don't have to play nice. Take them out. Transport unstable. Self-destruct. Destroy packing links.
So it's still playable, I would say. Just not completely smooth, unfortunately. Luigi's Mansion. Now this game is a very light game to be able to play, as you can see. It's gonna be smooth 30 FPS. As you can see, 30 FPS. Sometimes goes to 40 if we're lucky. And yes, there are frame drops, as you saw. It just went to 24 FPS. So not 100% smooth again. But it is on 720p. Mario Kart Double Dash. We're getting a smooth 60 FPS, and it should be like that since this game is even playable on older devices too. Moving on. We got Super Mario Sunshine. So this game is gonna have lag because it's a very powerful game and it's gonna be difficult to emulate, but as you can see, it's actually doing pretty well. Still has lag, did drop to 21 FPS, and I'm pretty sure we've got the best settings. Turn off sync on skip. There, it did improve it a bit, sync on skip. So most games with sync on skip would get improved frame rate. So 20 to 30 FPS for Super Mario Sunshine. Let's see, what other games do we have? We got Need for Speed Most Wanted. So 60 FPS so far, did drop to 54. Doing pretty well, 60 FPS, Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm impressed. Pac-Man World free. So for Pac-Man World free, as you can see, I'm probably gonna die very quickly. Keep dying. .30 FPS. Pretty stable most of the time. Soul Calibur 2. So let's move on. That was Soul Calibur 2. Star Fox Adventures. This is a very difficult game to emulate. As you could see, we're getting smooth 56 FPS. So that's a good sign. Now again, I keep forgetting. Okay, sync on skip is disabled, so that's all good. Let's go to a different scene. Pretty smooth, there is some lag, but you can't fix that unfortunately. You can always lower the resolution and probably get the nice, perfectly smooth 60 FPS. But as you can see, it's running pretty well. Star Fox Adventures. Moving on, we got SSX. I don't know which one this is. Tricky. Okay, this game doesn't work, it crashes. So I'm gonna skip it. True Crime LA. This is basically San Andreas. And it is smooth, 24 to 25 FPS. We did just get some lag to 17 FPS, which isn't a good thing. Yep, there is lots of lag, unfortunately. And let's just double check, sync on skip. So as you can see, we're getting 25 FPS and it's running pretty smooth. So we're now moving on to the next game, which is TimeSplitters 2. So as you can see, we're getting a nice smooth 60 FPS and there is literally no frame drops at all. So moving on, we got Need for Speed Underground 2. There. So we're getting 26 FPS right now and there's all of these cars next to us, so it's obviously going to be that low. As you can see, as the cars separate, the frames improve. Now it's about 40 FPS. So I'm pretty impressed with the Kirin 990 to be able to play Underground 2, which is a very demanding GameCube game. Even above 26 FPS, it's pretty impressive. Now let's quickly do something as well, just in case. Sync on skip we're gonna disable. This should improve it even more. Most of the time it does, sometimes it doesn't do anything. Right now it didn't seem to change much. But as I said before, this game seems to be completely playable. As you can see, I'm driving, barely crashing, even though I'm third. Okay, I'm crashing a lot now. Either way, we're getting a pretty stable 30 FPS. Let's go on to Need for Speed Carbon. Okay, for Need for Speed Carbon, this game does run very, very smooth at 60 FPS, but it has some kind of orange filter over the screen. I don't understand why. I've tried different settings, didn't change anything, but this kind of orangey, I don't know, polarizing filter look it has over it. As you can see, I'll change to a different save state, and it's the same. It's again that orangey kind of look, but if you look at the frames per second, we're at about 40 FPS, which is pretty impressive for this phone. And I'll just double check sync on skip and disable it as well, so you can see how it does. Normally when you disable sync on skip, it looks much less laggy. Improves FPS by a little bit. So we're getting about 30 FPS right now to 40 FPS. So it seems pretty alright. And this is the slow motion mode. So that's pretty good. This is WWE WrestleMania XIX, it says. I don't know what number that is, but here it is. Let's quickly double check settings to sync on skip. Okay. Now for this, it's showing 37 FPS. I don't know the controls either to fight back. I don't know the controls at all, but as you can see, we're getting about 30 to 40 FPS for this too. Now for the last game, this is Sonic Riders. So 60 FPS. So pretty well, 50 FPS, close to 60. And it even does get 60 FPS like right now. So, Kirin 995G. And it can handle most GameCube games, and in my Wii test you saw it can handle most Wii games too. And this is at 720p, so you can improve it even more by simply changing it to 1x in the settings. I don't remember where the settings was. Settings, enhancements, and putting on 1x, it would improve it. Now, hopefully this video was useful. If you liked it, like it. The video, if you dislike it, and if you want to subscribe, please do. I'm not even at 100 subscribers yet. Trying to get my videos watched, and YouTube are not recommending it since I don't even have 100 subscribers. So I would really appreciate that. Also, check out my website, slick4tech.com. I will also put in the gaming test section. Hopefully, I'll add it today or something. Where, if you go in gaming tests, I don't know why it's taking so long, but I'll put download links here in a separate one. And just click on it and you should be able to download links. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, guys, and goodbye.